Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to yet another assembly this year. We hope that everyone has been holding up well so far this semester and that our Mental Health Awareness Week has been helpful in that aspect too. Our prefects and primary student council will elaborate on this a little further later on in the assembly, but we would like to show our appreciation towards the whole student council for their efforts and towards the rest of their school for their participation in making this such a successful event.
On another note, I hope everyone enjoyed the Lunar New Year. But without much else to say, we can quickly begin and kick off our assembly today. For our first video on the list, it is none other than the most wonderful, most spectacular head girl, Isabel Tenhab, who would like to talk about what she would want to change about the world in 1 minute. Please welcome her.
Without music, life would be a mistake. This is a quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher, that I deeply resonate with. That is why, if I had 1 minute to change the world, I would give everyone the ability and access to learn an instrument of their choice, whether it be the piano, guitar, flute, violin, harp, saxophone, drums, or any other type of instrument. I was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to learn the piano at a very young age, and being able to play it has given me so much more happiness than a reluctant 7-year-old me would have thought when I didn't want to go to practice. I think being able to play music is a privilege that I often overlook. Not only does it stimulate our brain, improve thinking, coordination, and other motor skills in general, it also opens a door to a whole variety of different paths and possibilities to take. I myself have also noticed that playing music helps me take my mind off of things for a couple minutes and relax. It has been scientifically proven that even listening to music has its positive effects on moods and behavior and can even boost motivation. So imagine what positivity playing music will bring. I think that if everyone added just a little bit more music in their life, the world would be a much happier and better place. It was a pleasure to be featured in this assembly. Next up, we have a proposal on how to change the world by a primary student this time, Marcin, followed by Eva's primary creative.
Hello, I am Marcin Dodo, and if I had 1 minute to change the world, I would choose for all the kids in the world to live a balanced and free life. I want all the kids to have time to play and spend time with their family. Because in some parts of the world, there are child labor. And in some other parts of the world, the adults and parents just keep on pushing their kids way too hard. And that's just not fair for the kids. We're kids. We need to play. There's time to study, play, and eat, and sleep. And kids need a balanced and equal life. And one last thing, I want all the kids in the world to never ever give up and try to achieve their dreams. And I know that one day, my generation will change the world.
Thank you, Marcin and Eva. Next, we're going to see another secondary submission, but this time from Anastasia. To provide a bit of context, her video will be a skit between two fictional characters, a student and her teacher, Mrs. Johnson, who are both played by Anastasia herself, so try to keep that in mind. Please enjoy.
Okay guys, fantastic work today, and don't forget the homework, okay? Submit a video explaining I Found Peace in Your Violence from the song Silence by Khalid next week. I want to see it on Managback, okay? Thank you guys. See you.
Wait a sec. Why did Mrs. Johnson select such a simple line? Whatever. I guess that makes the job easier for me. Mrs. Johnson, you wanted to meet with me?
I really appreciated the piece that you submitted for your assignment, but it was not related at all to what I asked.
You said to make a video about I found peace in your violence. So
Violence.
huh?
The line is, I found peace in your violence, not violence.
Such a cute video, Anastasia, and a refreshing break from our usual assembly items. For our next piece, we will have the Primary Student Council talk about their highlights of our most recent event, Mental Health Awareness Week. What is mental health? Mental health is all about our well-being. It refers to our social, psychological, and emotional health. Mental health can impact our thoughts and our behaviors and is an important part of our health throughout our entire lives. How do we practice kindness? With so many people struggling with mental health problems in the world, it is very likely that you know someone who may be suffering too. Especially during the pandemic where everyone is at home, it is important to reach out to your friends, your family, and other loved ones. A simple "How are you today?" or "Are you okay?" can really open up the conversation. Listen to what they say and don't judge them. Be supportive. If you yourself are personally struggling with your mental health, be kind to yourself. Recognize that your feelings are valid and know that your mind and your body take time to heal. It's okay to have bad days and recognize your successes, whether it's brushing your hair in the morning or finally submitting an assignment. Create a positive environment within yourself and with the people you trust to have healthy conversations and establish routines that can give you the space to improve your health. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy the week ahead. Stay safe and take care.
Is this 14? I cannot do this. I have no help. Everyone in my family are on Zooms, and I have to do all my work by myself. This is so complicated, and virtual learning can be so hard for me. Now I know how to solve this solution. First thing, I should have a Zoom call with my teachers so they can help me finish my work. Second thing, I have Teams so I can use it to communicate with teachers and friends. Third thing is I can be independent and do my work myself.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap
What a wonderful recap of the Mental Health Awareness Week from none other than our Primary Student Council. Next, let's bring back our favorite Radio Wolf hosts to see what they have in store for Guess That Teacher. Pay attention to see if you can guess this month's mystery teacher.
Ow! Whoa! That thunder! Hello, lovely people. How are you? Hope everyone is staying safe and well during this particularly rainy season.
Last week, a love was in the air. This week, water's in the street. Seriously though, we hope everyone is staying safe and healthy during this rainy season.
Oh boy, it's your favorite hosts, the iconic duo, Bread and Butter, Thunder and Lightning, Serena McPhail, and Daniel Dickinson.
Yeah, we're back with our favorite game, Guess the Teacher. If you've forgotten the rules, don't worry, I'll explain briefly. Well, as usual, we interviewed a mysterious teacher and you have to guess who the teacher is. Send the answer through our email, which we are going to tell you at the end, and winner will get house points. Yeah!
Yeah! Let's get these house points flowing, geckos. Without further ado, here is the interview.
I know you can speak Bahasa Indonesia. Where did you learn this beautiful language?
Terima kasih. Saya belajar bahasa Indonesia di Australia dan juga di Yogyakarta. Saya kuliah di Jogja. So yes, I studied bahasa Indonesia when I was in high school in Australia, and I also studied in university in Yogyakarta. And you're right, I love the way that you say that it's a beautiful language because it really is.
Of course. We all love the Indonesian language. Moving on here. If we asked your students to describe you using one word, what do you think most of them would say?
I hope, Daniel, that they would say fun, though they might say a little bit crazy. They might say musical, because I've usually always got a ukulele in my hand or a guitar in my hand as well, which was a bit of novelty. It was a bit of fun to start, though they've heard a lot of it now. Maybe musical would be the word.
Okay.
Moving on to another question. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
For breakfast, interesting question. For breakfast today, I had a breakfast smoothie, and it's really delicious. I'm going to tell you the recipe. So I got a blender, and I put a banana and lots of oats. I put in peanut butter is essential, some yogurt and some milk, and it's a delicious breakfast smoothie ready for you. You can try it tomorrow and let me know what you think.
Have you ever met someone famous? Who was it and where? If not, which famous person would you like to meet the most?
Actually, before I was a school teacher, I used to work in a hotel. So I worked on the reception where I would check in the guests that were coming into the hotel. I'd welcome to the hotel and, take their details and everything. And I actually met a lot of famous people then. But famous people from Australia, a lot of TV hosts and local bands and journalists and book writers then. But that was my job before I was a school teacher, was working on the front desk of a hotel. And I did have the opportunity to meet lots of famous people, but they were all sort of smaller Australian celebrities that perhaps you might not have heard of.
Okay, excellent.
Even though both of us did the interview, we have no idea who the teacher is.
If you think you know who this mysterious teacher is, please send in your answers at the @ACGJStucco Instagram account or message Sabrina at 230901768 @acgjakarta.com or me at 230901876 @acgjakarta.com.
Every correct answer will get you some house points, so be ready.
Make sure to send in your answers or you won't be getting any house points. Boys and girls, please go get those points.
Blow them away.
And put your answers on display.
Adios.
Dampai jumpa. See you
next time.
Yet another hard to guess teacher. Make sure to head over to our Instagram account at ACGJStucco, which is spelled at ACGJStucco, to submit your answers for this assembly.
Hello everybody. I hope you're enjoying this fantastic assembly as much as I am. Now this month, I'm not doing the usual update message. Instead, I'm simply going to give you some good news. In the United States of America, a young 5-year-old girl called Rosalind was having trouble sleeping. She was having nightmares. Her father, who's a music teacher, had seen a male choir from the United Kingdom, the city of Bristol. They were called the Bristol Man's Choir. So he wrote to them and he asked them if they could compose a special lullaby for his daughters Rosalind and Evelyn to help them get to sleep. Well, they did. They recorded it and they sent it, and it is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to watch and listen now and hopefully enjoy, and maybe you can use it to help you get to sleep too. It comes from the website goodnewsnetwork.org, and the link is in the screen.
Thank you for your words, Mr. Todd. Next, let's invite our principal, Mr. Hutchinson, to see what he has to say.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our February Assembly. It's hard to believe that we're at the end of another busy month, and we have a busy month of March ahead of us. The 4th of March 2020 marks 12 months since ACG School Jakarta went online and started virtual schooling. On the 1st of March 2020, we had news of one of our staff members testing for COVID-19. Unfortunately, that staff member tested positive, and happy to say that that staff member is doing very, very well and has recovered very, very well. But it threw the school into a situation where we started with 14 days of self-quarantine for staff and students, and the beginning of our journey, our long journey of virtual schooling. We've made lots and lots of mistakes along the way. We've experienced a lot of successes as well. We've learned an incredible amount, and it has been a real challenge for our entire community. And we still face many, many challenges ahead here in Indonesia, but also globally. But on a brighter note, we have been working with the South Jakarta Education Office, and we see a glimmer of hope of getting some of our students back to some face-to-face learning very, very soon. Our priority at the moment is to try and get our kindergarten students and our students who need additional support with English language support and special education services, getting those students back to school in small groups. And we also want to get our after-school sports programs up and running again. Many of our students are desperate to get involved in our swimming program with our Orcas swim team, volleyball, football, badminton and basketball. So we are doing our very, very best to try and work with local authorities to get those opportunities back on the agenda so that we see our students back as early as next month. We do continue to face challenges, and over the weekend, certainly in Jakarta, we faced another challenge with heavy rains, flooding many homes and making life very, very difficult for many, many people in Jakarta. We're very focused on supporting our immediate community, and so we do have an online donation option to support our families who have been directly affected by the recent floods. So click on the link below or look at the link below and there will be an opportunity for you to donate generously to support those families. The funds raised will go directly to those families in need to replace essential items that may have been damaged by the flooding, as well as basic essential needs to get them by over the next coming weeks. To end the month of February, we have our parent community group meeting where I'll be leading the meeting and we'll be talking about the options available to students as we work with local authorities to see a gradual return to face-to-face learning. We also have our Parents as Learners workshop coming up on Friday the 5th of March starting at 3 o'clock. That's going to be led by our wonderful Mrs. Joanne Dickinson, and she'll be running a workshop on literacy in today's society. So parents, don't miss that. It's a virtual workshop online on Friday the 5th of March. We also have our Literacy Week. Our Literacy Week historically has been a great event for the school. That begins on the 8th of March, finishes on the 12th. Just as a reminder that the 11th of March is a public holiday, the school is closed, relax on that day. But the other days of the week, action-packed with activities and a real focus on literacy for the week. Special thanks to our student leaders who have been working around the clock to make that a really memorable week for us. So that's Literacy Week coming up the 8th to the 12th of March. I wanted to finish up this afternoon by reminding us all of our core school values. Our values play an important part in guiding our actions and informing our decision making. Our values of excellence, partnerships, integrity and compassion play a critical role both in the classroom and outside of the classroom, and help us with our interactions with each other. Particularly at this time of the year, we're all pretty tired. We've had nearly 12 months of virtual schooling. It's time that we remind ourselves of the importance of these values and certainly remind ourselves of the value of compassion. Try and put yourself in other people's shoes as you interact with each other, support each other and guide each other through teaching and learning. That's it for this afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'm sure that we will have a very busy, productive and positive month of March. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Hutchinson. We will now have our prefects discuss Secondary Mental Health Awareness Week and share some highlights from secondary school.
Hello everyone. For the first event of the second semester, the Student Council created a week dedicated to awareness towards mental health. The primary and secondary student council, along with support from teachers, created a week filled with discussion and activities catered to the students. For primary, topics of discussion were the importance of kindness and how to respond well to conflicts. Activities included kindness slogan making, sharing personal anecdotes on kindness, and complimenting fellow classmates to lift each other's spirits. During the week, the primary were very active in participating in discussions and activities, which created a very lively atmosphere.
For secondary, the topics discussed throughout the week were the importance of mental health, impacts of social media, how to cope with daily stress, and responding to challenging situations. The secondary were able to share their personal struggles and receive feedback from their fellow classmates. On the last day, we were able to get creative and write a script for a skit on kindness. We then performed it and recorded it in front of our advisory teachers. The secondary students were able to have deep and meaningful conversations with one another and produce an overall wonderful and productive Mental Health Awareness Week. As we are in quarantine, we all have a hard time finding things that help us distract ourselves from the current situation of the pandemic and the stress of daily life. And because of this, we encourage the students to post a picture of themselves that help them enjoy being at home. And some of these that we got included playing with their pets, playing video games, watching movies, and much more. We would finally like to thank everyone for their contribution to making this event successful and wonderful. Teachers, students, and parents, please look forward to our new events in the future.
As we are all living through a pandemic, I think we can all say that it negatively affected our mental health somehow. This could have come in the form of stress, anxiety, or overall exhaustion, fatigue, and lack of motivation. This is greatly difficult to deal with, especially in an online school environment where we live in isolation, quarantined, in order to protect our safety and the safety of our loved ones. But throughout this week, I think we all recognize the importance of open communication, collaboration, and honest conversation. It is not always easy to talk about your mental health because it is so deeply personal, and it is even harder to do that in front of your peers, your teachers, as it could be quite difficult and uncomfortable. But addressing those problems, addressing those topics, sharing advice, and sharing your own experiences is an antidote. Throughout this week, we all engaged in meaningful discussions while addressing difficult topics such as hiding emotions, the differences between genders when sharing struggles, the effects of social media on mental health, stress and anxiety, and how to deal with it. Talking about signs of having weak mental health and watching the videos and presenting definitely helped me. I'm happy that everyone seemed excited to participate in the roleplay on Friday, where we all collaboratively worked on a document to write a roleplay about kindness, which is highly important. But the most important aspect that I hope we achieved was breaking down the walls and addressing the stigma that is talking about mental health, as it still is a very taboo topic. It was so great to see some of you post on your social media, on your Instagram story, what helped you cope during the pandemic with the hashtag Mental Health Awareness Week. The anonymous advice session is a wonderful example of the power we can have to help each other and show friendliness, kindness, and empathy. I hope that this week helped all of you somehow, because it certainly helped me.
Three mean students are being mean and talking behind their friends' back.
Ha ha ha. Did you guys hear that? Malik sprained his ankle again.
He has such weak bones.
Oh, that's too bad.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Kind students go and visit Malik in the hospital.
Hello, Malik is in room 101. Thank you. Thank you. Malik,
In
are
room
you
101.
okay? Are you okay?
Yes, thank you.
Get well soon. Get well soon.
2 weeks later.
Ah! I broke my ankle.
He has such weak bones.
Oh, that's too bad.
Now I know how Malik felt. I should treat people nicely.
Kindness strengthens the relationship of people. The students who are kind to others have a strong relationship and grew kindness sprouts.
some great videos shown by our prefects. I'm sad that Isabel's class's video wasn't showcased today because that was honestly my favorite video all year long. Our last video for today's assembly will be prepared by one of our Year 12 students, Akash. Please enjoy.
Les maisons de célèbres de l'Opéra de Sydney. Ces flatures et architecture de design unique et une icône célèbre en Australie. Les coquilles sont également des panneaux lumineux qui s'éclairent dans l'obscurité. C'est le pont du port de Sydney. C'est l'un des plus grands ponts en arc d'acier au monde. Ces deux lieux emblématiques sont situés sur les ports de Sydney. Un endroit idéal pour une croisée portuaire. C'est une attraction touristique célèbre car l'opéra et les ponts du port sont visibles pendant la croisée. Il y a aussi belles plages de sable et de rochers que vous pouvez visiter. Les belles rivières avec des bleus cristallines feront votre eau de bouche. Dans des endroits comme le Jardin botanique royal de Sydney, vous pouvez voir des plantes luxuriantes et des statues emblématiques, des fontaines et des étangs. Toutefois, Sydney devient une ville différente après le coucher du soleil.
Wow, c'est très bon, Akash. Thank you all for watching our assembly today. As a last message to all parents and students, I would like to inform you that we are opening submissions of student work for the yearbook. Submissions can include pictures, videos, writing, music, art, and whatever else you can think of. For more information and clarification, please send me an email at 230901571@acgjakarta.com.
It's just sort of unrelated, but I can't help but mention the fact that the Year 13s have taken their final exams for a few subjects. I know that for myself in particular, I just took my French and my English oral exams, so I'm extremely relieved to have them done. So to my Year 13s watching this assembly right now, let's keep up the hard work because we only have 3 more months left to go, guys. And let's make the most out of what's to come. I would also like to apologize if my video looks a bit dark. It's literally just about to rain in my house, and I couldn't find a better time to record this video right now. And I know that a lot of people have it a lot worse for them. So I would like to wish everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you all next month. In the words of the legendary Lightning McQueen, ka-chow!